This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Chelsea. Chelsea is a champion surfer, so she's accustomed to moving super fast, which is why she relies on super fast broadband brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her family sharing and surfing and saving each month. Combined, she bundles her Flow mobile, home phone, and TV services, so she can enjoy much more for much less, and so can you. Visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
Welcome to this Barbados Today News Update for Wednesday, October 5. Thank you for joining us. I'm Desmond Brown. In the face of numerous challenges, Barbadians have been told they should guard against being overcome with negatives. Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs Chris Sinclair said even though there are political, economic and social challenges, residents should not adopt the belief that they live in a country where nothing works.
Nothing, my friends, can be further from the truth. We still have a fundamentally good economy. Our tourism sector has shown and is showing amazing resilience and is once again growing at healthy and even record levels. It is still one of the most attractive and indeed competitive tourism products in world tourism. That is just simply a fact. Our international business and financial services sector, though faced with immense and ongoing challenges from very powerful interests across the world, is still rated as one of the best regulated and most attractive domiciles in this or any other hemisphere in the world. We are quickly becoming leaders in the thrust to transform our economy into a green economy, particularly with our commendable efforts at promoting renewable and alternative energy systems.
Workers from various tourism departments and the Sanitation Service Authority were out early this morning for a cleanup of Carlisle Bay. It is part of the ongoing Clean Bim Campaign and was held as part of activities marking Tourism Week. Project manager Marsha Aline told Barbados Today the aim is to clean up around Barbados as tourism officials are marketing the island as one of the cleanest destinations in the world.
But we can't market Barbados as one of the cleanest destinations in the world. When our guests come here, they see garbage pile up, they see indiscriminate littering, they see, piles of garbage, and they see marine debris and ocean debris all over the place. We have to ensure that we really and truly walk the talk and we speak what we're saying by ensuring that we actually leave a clean nation, not just for our guests, but for our kids and our children's children.
And the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association's Sue Springer agrees that the Clean Bim campaign is not just about cleaning up for the tourists.
It's about cleaning up for Barbadians and having the pride in Barbados. And I think that is the message that we need to put out there. Yes, we can clean up, but it is the old adage, if you give a person a fish, they eat for a day. If you teach them to fish, they eat for life. If we get everybody on board in keeping Barbados clean, these cleanups would not have to happen.
President of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCCI, Eddie Abed, is not pleased with the time businesses had to close their doors in preparation for Tropical Storm Matthew. As such, the businessman issued a call yesterday for a national dialogue on the matter and for stakeholders to come up with a better mode of implementation of disaster preparedness needs. Abed was addressing the monthly BCCI Business Luncheon at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center.
Barbados was spared any loss of lives and major property damage, for which we're all thankful. However, the effectiveness of both the protocols and mode of implementation of disaster preparedness needs to be critiqued with a view to improving their efficacy. Surely we cannot be content with commuters sitting in traffic for up to 2 hours in order to travel from or through Bridgetown to their homes, a journey which would ordinarily have taken 40 minutes. We cannot be content for supermarkets and gas stations to be closed at 6 p.m., a time too early to accommodate the needs of many citizens trapped in the gridlock. The stakeholders need to re-examine the means of staggering closing times. Perhaps those businesses which provide the least essential services should close first, with the businesses providing more essential services closing later. This would ensure that neither panic nor confusion results at a time when our citizens seek leadership, guidance, and comfort from the DEM.
However, Mr. Abed made it clear that the Chamber was against any decision for businesses that were not considered essential to operate during a national shutdown.
I wish to reassure Barbadians that it has never been the position of the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industry to flaunt the law by operating businesses during a national shutdown. Essential services and business exempted. I suggest the social partnership engage this topic in the near future so we can collectively set a best practice protocol before rushing to add another layer of legislation.
Many people who contract HIV in Barbados and the Caribbean end up with full-blown AIDS. And according to Professor Clive Landis, the reason for this is that there are barriers to treatment in the forms of discrimination and isolation. Speaking last night during a presentation at the University of the West Indies Henry Fraser Lecture, the Honorary Director of the Barbados Ministry of Health HIV Laboratory said these barriers cause people to fear testing for HIV, so many of those infected often go untreated until it degenerates into AIDS.
It really is important for us to understand how we can eliminate AIDS. Remember, AIDS is HIV that's been left untreated. There are barriers. There are barriers keeping apart the patient from the drugs and what they could be. And we're familiar with these. It is the diagnosis, which you need in the first place, and then the linkage to care. And what's hindering that is fear and stigma. And then even once you're linked to care and you're on the drugs, you need support. These drugs, you have to take them religiously, and you need to adhere and have support. But instead, what many patients get is discrimination and isolation.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
In regional news, the most powerful Caribbean hurricane in nearly a decade has left thousands of people displaced in Haiti, with rescuers struggling to reach the worst-hit areas. Hurricane Matthew is said to have devastated parts of the country where several people have died. The hurricane also hit Cuba, but early reports suggested its impact was not as hard as Haiti, where there were winds of 145 miles per hour, heavy rains, and dangerous storm surges. At least 10,000 people were in shelters, and there were reports of overcrowded hospitals suffering shortages of fresh water. The storm knocked down communications and blocked roads, hampering emergency efforts. The storm has now moved off the northeastern coast of Cuba towards Florida, where warnings are in place. Matthew, now a Category 3 hurricane, is predicted to hit the U.S. East Coast later in the week. On the international scene, British Prime Minister Theresa May said she will build a fairer Britain and that the country must and will change after the Brexit vote. She was speaking at the Conservative Party conference.
This is a turning point for our country, a once-in-a-generation chance to change the direction of our nation for good, to step back and ask ourselves what kind of country we want to be. And let's be clear. We have come a long way over the past 6 years. We've brought the deficit down, got more people into work than ever before, taken the lowest paid out of income tax, established a new national living wage, helped nearly 1 million new businesses to set up and grow, got almost 1.5 million more children into good or outstanding schools, put record investment into the NHS, created nearly 3 million new apprenticeships, and brought crime down by more than a quarter to its lowest ever level. That's a record of which we should all be proud.
Theresa May, in her first conference speech as leader of the Conservative Party, closing the gathering in Birmingham. That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb Also, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on iZoom Media in bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Desmond Brown.